Imagine you have reached the edge of the universe. In front of you, every galaxy that has ever existed, every star, every planet, all of it, glowing inside a single sphere of light. And behind you, nothing. No galaxies, no stars, no space, just blackness. So if the universe is expanding, this feels like the obvious question. What is it expanding into? But here's the problem. That picture in your head, the universe as a giant bubble growing into empty darkness, might be completely wrong. Because according to modern cosmology, the universe is not expanding through space, space itself is expanding. And that means the real question is much stranger than something outside. It may be that there is no outside at all. To understand why, imagine a loaf of raisin bread sitting in an oven, slowly rising. As the dough swells, every raisin drifts away from every other raisin. None of them are actually moving through the dough. The dough between them is just getting bigger. Now picture that same loaf with no oven, no pan, no edges, no outside, just dough stretching in every direction forever. That's the universe, not a balloon expanding into a room, but a fabric stretching itself from within. Cosmologists call this intrinsic expansion. Let's give it a friendlier name. Call it the inside-only universe. There is no centre to point to, no edge to walk up to, no empty stadium for the cosmos to grow inside of. Now the question you're probably asking is, okay, but what's beyond it? What's past the dough? And here's the unsettling part. According to general relativity, that question may be like asking what's north of the North Pole. The words make sense, the grammar is fine, but the thing you're describing may not exist as a physical place. Now, for the cosmonauts who really want an outside to exist, a few physicists are with you. There are serious theories that give the universe a beyond. In brain cosmology, born out of string theory, our entire universe is a thin sheet floating inside a much larger, higher dimensional space called the bulk. The Big Bang, in some versions, was just two of these sheets colliding in eternal inflation. Our universe is one bubble among countless others, all popping into existence inside a vast inflating sea that never stops growing. And a smaller group of physicists have suggested something even stranger. That our entire cosmos might be sitting inside a black hole, in some larger parent universe we may never be able to see. None of these have been confirmed, but they are taken seriously. We just have no way to peek past our own horizon to check. But set the multiverse aside for a moment, because even inside our own cosmos, the expansion is doing something nobody saw coming. The universe isn't just expanding, it's expanding everywhere at the same time. If you stood on a galaxy 10 million light years from Earth, you'd see our galaxy racing away from you. Stand on one 1 billion light years away, and we'd be sprinting. Stand somewhere truly distant, and we would be moving faster than light itself. Now, hold on. You've heard that nothing can travel faster than light, and that's true for things moving through space. But space itself isn't bound by that speed limit. Space can stretch as fast as it wants to do, and out of the very edge of what we can see, it does. To put that into perspective, the observable universe is roughly 93 billion light years across. If you shrank the entire Milky Way down to the size of a grain of sand, you'd still need a sandbox almost 1 kilometre across to hold everything that we can see. And every single point inside of that sandbox is moving away from every other point. Here's what nobody talks about. Even if there is no outside, even if what is it expanding into turns out to be the wrong question entirely. The expansion itself is doing something we cannot explain. For decades, astronomers thought cosmic expansion would slow down. Gravity should be pulling everything back, like a ball thrown straight up over a Manhattan rooftop. But in 1998, observations showed the opposite. The expansion was speeding up. Something invisible was pushing the universe apart harder every year. We named that something dark energy, which sounds like a name. It isn't. It's a placeholder. We have no idea what it actually is. We just know it makes up roughly 70% of everything, and we cannot see, touch, or trap a single drop of it. If there's one thing humans hate, it's a haunted house with no ghost. Dark energy is the ghost. Most people stop here, but the story has gotten weirder, because in the past year, two of the biggest dark energy experiments in the world, the Dark Energy Survey in Chile and DESI in Arizona, started returning results that don't quite match the old story. The data hint that dark energy may not be a constant force at all, it might be weakening over time, and if it is, the consequences are enormous. A Cornell physicist used the new measurements to recalculate the fate of the cosmos. His model suggests the universe might keep expanding for another 11 billion years, reach its maximum size, and then reverse. Everything we see would slowly fall back toward a single point. Cosmologists have a name for this. They call it the Big Crunch, which means our 13.8 billion year old universe might be roughly halfway through its lifetime. And the expansion we're watching right now might not be a one-way ticket. It might be a long, slow inhale before the exhale. Now, there's a catch. None of this is settled. Other teams are seeing the universe expand even faster than expected, fast enough that some physicists, including the chief scientist at Keck Observatory, have openly said cosmology as we know it may be broken. We have two ways of measuring how fast space is stretching. One looks at the baby universe just after the Big Bang. The other looks at galaxies near us today. They should give the same answer, but they don't. The nearby measurement comes back consistently faster than the early one, and the gap refuses to close. It is not going away, and it is whispering that something in our standard picture is missing. Here's the part that always gets me. We are tiny mammals on a wet rock, orbiting on an average star in an average galaxy at the edge of an average cluster. And from that vantage point, we have managed to figure out that the entire fabric of reality is stretching. We've measured the rate, we've spotted the cracks in our own theories, we've even started arguing about whether the whole thing will end in fire or fall back into a single point. The universe doesn't care if we're watching, of course, but it would do this whether or not anyone ever evolved eyes to look, which is, in its own quiet way, the most cosmic joke there is. So what is the universe expanding into? The honest answer, cosmonauts, is probably nothing. Not empty space, not darkness, not a void waiting to be filled. The universe isn't a balloon inside a room. There is no room. The expansion is happening from within, in every direction, at every point, all at once. And the deeper we look, the more we suspect the inside-only universe has secrets we haven't even named yet. A dark energy that may not be constant, an expansion rate that doesn't quite add up, a possible ending no one saw coming. We started this story at the imagined edge of the cosmos, looking out at blackness. It turns out that edge may not exist, and that blackness may not be there to see. So here is the question worth sitting with. If the universe has no outside, no centre, and no edge, where exactly are you standing right now? Tell us in the comments below.